Hi, I'm Scott and I'm an American in Bangkok. Today on Letters to Thailand, part 2 of Kevin and the women with issues. Now, if you remember, he was telling me about how he'd been married and how he speaks a little bit of Thai. He's divorced now, blah, blah, blah. And when I left off last, I was at the following place in his letter. He says, when she was 14, her mother and uncle murdered her father to collect life insurance. Then they shacked up together. Uncle told her that she must work and play with foreigners or they will murder her younger brother too. So she plays and can quit when she gets 70,000 US. She finally got it. Now, he goes on to say, there's another woman I really loved. When she was 14, her parents had some boy come live at their home for the summer. They knew damn well she'd be pregnant soon. Sure enough, 3 months later, she's pregnant. Then she was ostracized, emotionally abused by the whole village for being a bad girl, and then forced to work in Pattaya to pay for her baby. I met her here in the USA. She married an American soldier who was Thai by blood but raised in the U.S. and he spoke only English. When I met her, she was afraid of the guy, and when I did a background check, sure enough, he'd been in jail for rape, violence, drugs, and gambling. So I did the stupid thing and got involved. Stop right there. Jesus, if you knew it was the stupid thing, why'd you do it? I mean, I'm starting to see a pattern here, Kevin. You know, I mean, not to jump all over you here, man, but, you know, like, if you start to get involved with women who have, like, problems like their families threatening to murder them and, you know, they've got a boyfriend who is raping them and beating them up and that kind of thing, maybe you should take a look at the kind of women that you're attracted to and why. Okay, so we ended up living together for 6 months. Wow. I gave her mother $500 US a month for her baby. Sometimes when we went to the local temple, I knew she was being pressured by some local Thai US hookers to come work with them to make big money. And her mother was pushing to come with them. Her mother was pushing her too, sorry. She called every night, her mother, and had Lek in tears with the head games and manipulation and threats. One day I was sitting at my desk and she'd been crying. I hear a click and she is trying to put a magazine in my pistol. Wow. I took the gun away and she broke down and she said she had to go get a room and work for money for mother and baby. I called a taxi and she was gone. She got deported a couple of months later. I have seen more craziness. Man, I cannot read today. I have seen even more craziness, as I know you understand. Well, I do understand. And, you know, I'm going to stop right here because you've written quite a bit more. But the next thing you do say is, anyway, it's been become, okay, some of this is not me reading. Some of it's how it's written. Anyway, it's become so difficult for me to trust anyone. I understand why. First of all, instead of worrying about trusting others, why don't you worry about trusting yourself? I mean, honestly, and I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but like I said, when you start going after women who are completely damaged, I mean, women like the two women that you were writing about or that you were talking about to me, if you're going after women like that on a regular basis, that's not a good thing. And you really need to think about yourself and whether you can trust yourself as opposed to trusting others. Till next time, I'm Scott. Chok di la Jack Gan Mai.